Welcome to the Quick Stop F1 podcast. My name is Nyasha and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. Joining me today for the first time in 5 fucking weeks. Oh my God. What a part-time baller. This guy is on a absolute max contract. The Dennis Rodman contract. Come in when you won. Leave when you won. But the podcast's not the same without her. Welcome to the show. I'm talking to you like a guest instead of a co-founder, but she is the co-founder. Tandy Sabanda, how's it going?
I feel like you have been waiting to do this. Like you have had this in for a while. Guys, the reason why I wasn't coming back is me and Nyasha had a deal. And the deal was, as long as he keeps that gross beard, I'm not coming on the podcast. So here I am.
And there you go. No beards, and here Tandy is.
Here
So I sacrificed looking like someone who is of age just so I could get my co-founder back on the pod. But look, thank you for coming back. Look, someone we're also proud to have. I feels like this guest has probably not been on as long as Tandy's not been on, but it's actually been it's been even longer. We're so happy to have. He's just been glad handling and enjoying the perks of the Miami sunshine and paddock. It is one of the best football analysts in the world, and one of our favorite content creators, whether that's on football, whether that's on F1 as well. Mr. Darius Butler is back in the building. How's it going?
Hey man, I appreciate you guys having me back. I came back on the right day. I see a good day to come back. Day after Miami Grand Prix, obviously. It's good to be back with the family though.
Oh no, we super appreciate it. It.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, let me just quickly say, if you're watching this, make sure to give us a like and a subscribe. If you are listening to this on Spotify, give us a 5-star review. If you're on Apple Podcasts, give an Apple Podcast review. Remember, if you want an ad-free stream, we have the Patreon links down below where there's exclusive content and merch. Darius.
Yo.
There was a lot of talk about Miami before the Grand Prix, in terms of the experience for people there. And I think especially the experience of the higher end of things from last year. And I guess some of the ticket sales from this year being, looking like they were down given the emails that they were sending out. But I guess you can't beat the analysis or the experiences of people who are there on the ground. So from your point of view, as someone who went in 2022, if I'm not mistaken, how was it, I guess, in 2023, the second one, were things improved? Did you still have a great time? It looked like you had a great time looking at your socials. Yeah. I definitely wasn't jealous whatsoever. How was your Miami GP experience?
It was awesome. And if I had to compare it to last year, I would definitely say it was better. Obviously, last year was the first year. But I think it was a better overall experience. I know getting in and out of the stadium, where they kind of had the team set up inside the stadium on the field, like their headquarters down there, that experience they did down there was awesome. Obviously, it's Miami, so very, very pricey. Definitely not inclusive from that standpoint. Everything was an arm and a leg down there. But as far as the overall experience, I thought it was great. I know a lot of people have been complaining about the race. I thought the race was pretty good as well. It was kind of what I think we all expected as far as, Red Bull fighting up front. But I felt like it was a lot of overtakes. I felt like the crowd was into it. Getting the driver intros with LL Cool J, which, it was hot as hell out there. I know the drivers probably didn't love it, but I thought that was kind of fun to see who the fans liked and who they didn't necessarily like. That was interesting to see as well. But the overall experience for me was 10 out of 10. I loved it. And compared to last year, I think it was better, and I think it will continue to get a little better each year it comes down here.
No, love to see it. Tandy, as someone who, you like the finer things in life, you are, and I say that as
Do
a
you know what I mean?
compliment. Do you know what I mean?
Innit?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that to get at you. Like, you are.
I put you
someone
on.
Yeah, right. My life has improved since I met you in enjoying the finer things in life.
Yeah.
I've always kind of said personally that
Yeah.
Miami isn't a race that I would want to. I feel kind of FOMO, but I felt a little bit of FOMO this year.
Do you know what it is, Nyasha?
What did you feel? Yeah.
I feel like you felt FOMO in particular because you're obviously like a larger fan of Formula One than I am, even though it's all equal. I feel like obviously when we used to talk about like GPs all the time, it was like, okay, we have the small podcast, we have a small following, but this time around it was like, wait a minute, that's my mate. Wait a minute, there's Darius. Wait a minute, he was on the pod last week. And it's like, it's now like, the same people in your same class. So I don't blame you for feeling FOMO. But I'm not going to lie though, Miami looks fun. And I've been saying it to my housemates, where it's basically because, in the politest way, not to offend the Americans, I love the Americans, to assimilate Formula One into America, they've had to find a third party. They've had to find a PayPal. So the PayPal with this is inviting people who are into other sports in America, like American football. You had, who was the American football player that they had up in Alpine? Was it Alpine?
I'm not sure.
I'll get.
There's probably a lot of Miami Dolphins.
Exactly,
players
and they
around.
had like
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. That's
it. Yeah, Tyreek
Oh
Hill.
yeah, because they was doing the thing.
It's assimilation.
Yeah.
You can't completely like throw water on these Americans and say like, listen, this is Formula One. You've got to make it relatable. You got to throw Shaq in there. You got to have Megan Thee Stallion. You just got to mix it in.
LL Cool J.
LL Cool J. Do you know what I mean? I feel like they always roll out someone who's like iconically black. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Am I sorry? And Tandy, you're a hip hop historian. Darius, you probably know. Is LL Cool J from Miami?
No,
like,
LL is from. No, you
New
are
York,
a Jay-Z
right?
fan. What the hell?
No, he's from New York, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
Uncle
making
was
sure.
like, you'll never be LL Cool J. Come on.
I know.
Come on.
I know. So in my mind, so that's why I was like, I was
Yeah.
trying to figure out. It felt so random. Like,
No,
I
but
knew
you
they
know
were
what?
I'm
Us
with you.
having
I
all
felt
the
like-
knowledge.
Go ahead.
Us having all the knowledge in like obviously black culture, we're a bit like, what the hell? It just feels like they've got anyone to shuck and jive in front of everyone, and they always get a big black guy to shuck and jive. But we'll talk about that later, innit? However, for like the average Joe, the small-minded, seeing icons, they might as well have had Snoop Dogg there. Do you know what I mean? Just American icons that people be like, oh my god,
Correct.
there's the guy from CSI. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
I forgot he was on CSI. He was
There
big,
you
but
go.
I thought. Look, we could have had Pitbull. I thought we could have had DJ Khaled, who was there.
Mr. Worldwide.
These guys are from Miami. I don't know how big their brand is, worldwide, but I would assume they were bigger than LL Cool J right now.
Kodak
at least.
Black.
Well, it's Mr. Worldwide. I mean, what more could you want?
No Kodak. I don't think you could have put Kodak.
Whoa.
Maybe
You guys don't want.
J-Lo been down
Well, what
there?
happened to
I don't know.
Sniper Gang Kodak? You guys don't want Sniper Gang Kodak at the
love
F1 GP?
Tandy,
I
no, I
love
don't want.
Kodak.
I don't want someone with his rap sheet on. I do, please. I mean, we're not promoting that. So, Darius, getting away from Tandy. I guess, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, with the obviously that random part of it. I guess. Look, let's talk about it now quickly because I spoke about it, and there was definitely a lot of talk around it beforehand. I know Tandy, you've touched on it when we spoke about Megan at Austin last year. I think we spoke about Simone at Monaco last year. Sorry, Meg was 2021. Darius, as someone who maybe you're on the other side of the fence a little bit, in that because of your stature and because of the job that you have and because of the connections that you have, that you're able to attend Grand Prix, and maybe you might be gifted experiences at Grand Prix,
Mm-hmm.
or you might be able to access areas which, let's say, the average fan may not be able to access. And I guess especially as well as like as someone from America, relatively new fan to the sport, but also you're ingrained in, you know, American sport and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts? There was a lot of chat about influences at the Grand Prix, and a lot of people seem to be upset that there was a lot of influencer access to F1 experiences where, you know, they wouldn't necessarily maybe know much about the sport. Do you see? I mean, how do you feel about how F1 has tried to market the Miami Grand Prix? I guess as like as Vincenzo said, an aspirational thing, almost like a Coachella of sport. Like, I want to be there, not necessarily because I want to go and see racing, although I do want to see racing, but I want to go for the experience and the luxury and the celebrities. I mean, is that necessarily a bad thing in your eyes?
I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, but you know, at the end of the day, it's about money. You know, money talks, and as far as bringing the eyes and the attention. And on the flip side, we've done it with American football. You know, my rookie year, we went and played a game in London, and you know, they would have certain things that would be going on, and a lot of the fans in there, you know, they had on whatever jersey, they cheered for both teams. Every time somebody did something, it didn't necessarily know exactly what was going on, but hey, it was still a great environment, and we were bringing the game. And now we're playing in Germany, you're playing in Mexico City, you're playing all over the world. So you're trying to spread the game around, and you know, with Liberty Media, you know, since they bought F1 and, you know, the success with the Drive to Survive series, I was actually able to attend this thing for Wall Street Journal, which had, you know,
Nice.
Jay Leno was hosting it, but I met Will Buxton was there.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, Brockheimer, the guys, so they're doing this movie, obviously Brad Pitt, they're going to have an 11 team on the grid, they're going to have a real F1 car, so if you think you're mad at it now, you're gonna be way more upset in a couple of years, especially when this movie comes out. But I get it from the standpoint of, you know, not only getting the people who are a true fan of the sport, but also kind of getting those people on the borderline, or some people who just want to go to a bougie, you know, fantastic event, and it still is, you know, the pinnacle of motorsports and all these things, and they still maintain that status. And I don't know about everyone else, but for the most part, and a lot of people I know, F1 is still a very much pay-to-play type of situation. So while there are people, I'm sure once you do have a certain type of stature, there are people who are gifted certain things. But a lot of people, it may not be the money coming out of their pocket, but someone else will be footing that bill. Some other company, it may be Nike, or it may be, you know, ESPN or whatever. And I think they should be doing more of that, honestly, to get these people in those doors to say, hey, you know, DJ Khaled's you know, he's here, or Tom Brady, or these guys, because that does bring extra eyes to the sport. And, you know, I know people, there is a lot of gatekeeping with real Formula One fans. And you bump into them here and there. Oh, what are you one of those Drive to Survive people, huh? I'm like, yeah, and what?
Wow.
So what?
Hey, let me tell them again.
It's definitely beef, though, you know. But as long as you get there, you know, however you get the person there. I watched the race on ESPN first, and really the lead up to the race is what kind of sucked me into it, because, you know, seeing the different stories and different drama, and, you know, which teams have been good and which teams are struggling, and, you know, who are the up and coming, who are the rookies, all these different stories, and then actually seeing the race play out, the strategy, everything involved, the danger of it, even though it's gotten much more safe over the years, very similar to football. And then the business, all of the money from the outside. That's interesting to me. The business of, you know, Rolex and Aramco and crypto and all these different things, entities that are involved. So there's a bunch of reasons why I enjoy it. But when you get down to the racing of it, that's also awesome as well. And that was Miami. The cleanest race I've seen thus far. I know a lot of drivers are complaining about the surface and the track, but I can't remember one yellow flag, one safety car, virtual safety, or anything. So that was unbelievable from that standpoint.
I think it was the first race, Mario, if you could just double check, I think it was the first race since 2021 where all 20 cars have finished the race. So
wow.
I think that shows, and especially in a world where, because the racing is not great, we're always kind of wanting or expecting a safety car of some sort to spice things up, and that didn't happen. Before we get into race, Tanya, is there anything that you wanted to say, I guess, on like the gatekeeping side of F1? And I guess, as obviously you've watched the sport a lot longer than most.
Yeah,
but I
do you
guess
know what I
you also have
mean?
you have a lot more of, I guess, but you're very in tune with like popular culture and influence culture, your job, you've worked around this
Yeah,
kind of
I
thing. So
mean, I don't like. Obviously, I watched your clip that you put up yesterday, Nyasha, and it is true. Like every time you will be approached by a brand to take you on this trip. So whether you're a beauty influencer, you've just been asked, right, get this, wear this new makeup, go to the Miami GP. You haven't been asked, it's not your duty to know about the races. Like you've just kind of gone as a brand. So sometimes people are working and they're just working at the Miami GP. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that we should be mad that, people who are influencers, who are celebs, get invites and get better tickets than us. Like it's been through history. Like you've just got to look at the back in the Senna days. Senna used to bring in royalty. He was the one bringing in all the celebrities. He was bringing movie stars. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, it's true.
it just comes at Formula
Even
One.
if you
And
go
maybe,
back to like James Hunt and that, like who they love, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
honestly,
yeah, no, it's a really good point.
Yeah, and I honestly I feel like it had lost that bit of glamour, obviously, for a very long time. Like you weren't really seeing people who people were interested in, like LL Cool J, or do you know what I mean? So, and obviously Lewis was bringing people in. That was cool. I liked seeing ASAP Rocky in the paddock.
Yeah.
Come on, yeah.
I mean,
so,
especially for a lot of Americans here, where Logan is the only American born driver, I believe, and he was a South Florida kid as well. So you gotta bring those other people until Andretti gets on the grid at least.
there you go.
We will see. No, they're all very good points, and I think there'll definitely be some kind of movement. I think the deadline for new teams to submit their stuff is Monday the 15th, which is next week. So literally next week, and then they'll know by mid-July. I think we saw Andretti, Andretti, Lucky Sons, and I think there was someone else. Our Equal GP. Sorry, there's another one that's like. Wow, Mario's saying 2005 Italian GP, all 20 cars finished.
All 20 cars finished. There you go. It is coming as like the safest one thus far, to be honest.
Yeah, no.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I haven't seen that for a minute. So
I wouldn't mind taking like a bike ride on the Miami track. Seems a bit safe. Not too bad.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It seems fine.
Yeah.
I feel like
go past the beach.
I mean, it only gets used once a year, so it's plenty of time. Come on down.
It's literally in the car park, isn't it? Like of the stadium. Yeah, it's in the car park of the Hard Rock Stadium, and that's why they've got all the. Were you on the pitch then? Did you get to go into the bit where they're on the pitch?
Yeah, I did on the where they had all the different team setups. Alfa Romeo was the team that kind of hosted me this year, so had a chance to go in their garage. This is the most access I've had personally. We couldn't take pictures or anything in there because all that stuff is top secret.
Sensitive.
But to see how intricate it is, like all the details, all the data. Like it was literally just a whole row of just computers with all this information. Seeing everybody. All the different mechanics and everyone kind of getting ready before the race and kind of how similar it is to like a football locker room before the game starts. The different engines, how the car, like I think the car just gets shipped, it shows up, it literally shows up in different parts and then it's pieced together as it arrives in Miami. And then when race day gets there, that's the only time they ship kind of the spare engines back. So kind of just seeing all the different ins and outs of, how the sausage is made. So to say, was awesome to see. And then the drivers, I felt like this sport, more than any other sport I've seen at least, like the drivers are just walking by, like just like once you were in the kind of that VIP area, I guess, like it was just like, oh shit, that was Lando. Now they all walk so fast, but like when Lewis walks by, it's like a crowd and like you just feel it a little more. But I mean, and they're kind of small too, but they just boop, boop, boop. I'm like, oh shit, that's Alex, that's him. And they're all pretty cool, pretty nice. But that was interesting as well, just the overall access, I feel, and how close you can actually get to the drivers and the garages and all those things. Football, basketball, maybe if you're like courtside or something pregame, you can get that type of access. But That was interesting as well and cool. And once again, you pay to play. So once you pay and get whatever type of access, I guess they want you to feel you're as much as part of the event as possible.
No, that's incredible stuff. Well, look, let's get into the race itself. Tandy.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Tell me your takeaway from the race in general, I guess.
What did I say to you before off the camera? I said, Nyasha, I'm bored. I don't like to be bored. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so bored with Formula One. Do you know what? Like, I mean, my takeaway from Saturday evening was this is definitely Checo's chance to prove a lot. Yeah. I feel like this was his last weekend to prove that maybe he has a chance in winning, and it was definitely a make or break weekend for him. And unfortunately, it was a break situation, and it just upsets me to see Checo do like after race interviews and like literally just blaming on like, oh, my medium tires were weak, and then you get like Max just come on and be like, oh, like our strategy was discussed yesterday afternoon. I always knew I was gonna win. They're lying to you, Checo baby. Babes, they're lying to you. So, like, make it make sense, because he knows something you don't. And at this point, it's not even interesting to watch. Sorry to bring the mood down.
Yeah, it's okay. That was just like, I had a great time. The race was great.
It was interesting to me because I thought Checo had a real chance in winning it. It was Checo's crowd. It was a home crowd. He got the loudest ovation.
Yeah.
No, Lewis probably got the loudest, and Checo was kind of right there. Obviously, Max got booed. Logan Sargent got a decent cheer, obviously being a South Florida kid. But the race, I thought the race, it was kind of what I expected, honestly. I want to know how does this Red Bull domination compare to the Mercedes domination, and it was for that stretch, because I missed that stretch. I missed the 7 world championships in a row. Should have been 8. But how does this compare? Was that boring? Obviously, we're fans of that too. Was that boring as well, or no?
The thing about the Mercedes domination, I think what I particularly liked was the fact that every time we had a Mercedes win, it didn't feel like we weren't left combobulated thinking, how was that a win? We were like, that was a clear win. This is somebody with strategy. This is a team with a great strategy. This is a team that is unbeatable with a great car, and they have gone over and they've pushed other people out who have equally great strategies. However, this time it just feels like there's one person in the race, and what's obviously Red Bull had a start to their winning streak that wasn't the best, and then we kind of thought, okay, new year, let's see if they're actually a champion team. Let's actually see if these guys are worth celebrating. And it almost feels like this was all the other seasons before last season. Not even last season. This is, and we're now in a situation where it's like, I'm not seeing you guys come out with your wins that have left me kind of saying that was a world record. Like, that was astonishing to watch. It's just so obvious. And it's even worse when you listen to the commentators and we have 57 laps. I mean, we have 57 laps all to go, and we're 50 laps in, and they're like, well, thanks for joining us, guys. What a great weekend it's been here at Miami. And it's like, back in the day, we'd still have people fighting with 3 laps to go.
But so it was like that with the Mercedes domination. It wasn't, because I was under the impression it was just
2014 to 16. 2014 to 16. 2014 especially, when the new regs came, it was very Mercedes. Mercedes had the best engine by far. I think people look at it, if you go and watch the 2014 Bahrain Grand Prix, the Battle of the Silver Arrows, there was a safety car restart, and I think Mercedes pulled like 2 seconds a lap on the rest of the field. Like it was crazy. Like, it was 2014, I won't lie, it was crazy. Do I think it was as bad as it is now? I think the thing then, I think we kind of saw Mercedes' full potential I don't think anyone really knows how quick this Red Bull car is. I think there's still levels to
This
the
is
power
what I
that
mean.
it can go
Like,
into.
yeah,
Like, we
these
don't. I
people
think they've
aren't
got their engines turned
even.
down.
Yeah, they're not even putting it full throttle. And then, you've got teams coming back after Imola to make changes. And it's like, are they making changes as well? Because they don't actually even have to. It's like turning your mic on at 3% and be like, damn, that's loud. But you can go all the way to 10.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, Verstappen's overtakes. I don't think we've ever seen a more, and yeah, thanks, Mary, 24-second gap pulled out in 10 laps in Bahrain 2004. So that was a big gap. And I think, if we look at, I don't think we've ever seen a DRS system work so well. We were seeing Max overtake 2 cars at a time in Miami. That DRS they have built a rocket ship, and it's incredible. I would say what we had in 2014 to 2016 was 2 teammates who were relatively equal. I don't think Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez are in any way as close.
Who was the teammate there? Who was Lewis's teammate at that point?
Nico Rosberg. So,
okay.
So
I always see the beat Lewis in equal machinery comments.
Yes, there you go. That's the only person to beat Lewis for a title in equal machinery. They always say that. So he won in 2016, but Lewis had loads of issues. Anyway, look, long story short, yes, it is as bad, but not as bad as I think Red Bull, I think this one we'll see, depending on how long this goes on for, I think we'll see how dominant they are and over different types of racetracks. But we need some other winners, like from other teams, to win races, because this is even in 2015, I think Ferrari won 3 races. I'm not seeing a team that can win 3 races this season. If I'm going to be honest,
it's not even close.
It's not happening. It's not happening. And even Red Bull used to win in the occasional race every now and then. I think they used to win like Monaco from like 2016 onwards. They used to have a good car in Monaco. So yeah, we'll see. Darius, I guess, having looked at the race, and we'll let you give your kind of stars of the day and donkeys of the day. Who was your star of the day from the Miami? I said Monaco, from the Miami GP weekend.
I mean, I feel like George Russell had a good race to end up P4, I believe. Who else was my star? And I was upset at George a few races ago with the Austin race last year. But I mean, it's hard.
Did he cost you a bet, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a big bet. I had Carlos Sainz just to be on the podium. I had him to be on the podium, and he was starting at P1 in that race, I believe, in the first turn, literally. I'm looking down, and that first race at that track, it's it's that turn, and you just corner, see the smoke, and I'm like, please don't let that be 55, and it was. But, I mean, he has a rocket ship, but I mean, Max, coming from P19, even to know that was the fastest car, and I expect him to be on a podium, I thought Checo was going to pull it out. But just watching that drive and once again, being new to the sport and just seeing just such a dominant car. And I still do. I think the first time I came on here, I'm like, look, I know it feels like everybody hates Max, but I like how the guy drives. Not a great teammate, but, kind of that killer mentality. But see him go from 9-1, and I think win the race by 5 seconds. Against a car that you think is equal. I don't know if they're kind of turning his up and turning Checo's down a little bit. I'm not sure there, but to literally just watch that, could you see him going by zoom, and then like every time they come by, you see that gap and then I saw that overtake going into turn 1 when he overtook 2 cars. So I mean, Max probably the driver of the day. Donkey of the day. I hate donkey of the day.
You're so lovely because we love it. We're like, I'm gonna shit on someone.
I mean, right now it would probably, I would have to go Charles and Charles Leclerc, and not even with the race, but I mean he did nothing during the race, but the weekend, like the mistake he had during qualifying, I believe, I think made two huge mistakes over the weekend. And I remember the spaces we had. I forget who said it. But one of you was like, this guy, great driver, great, awesome car, whatever. He just has that Bozo Jean. And that, and Sands, I felt like he had a good race, but the Bozo Jean showed through this weekend. So Charles would probably be my donkey of the weekend, probably.
Also, Bozo Jean, on the subject of Bozo Jean, Charles' last interview, he was like, oh, I think me and Science have just been having a conversation. We just don't think we have a good car. I said,
Yeah,
brother,
so that-
brother, it's taking you this long. Like, you've only just clocked. He said, I just don't think we got a good car, you know. Fam, please, no.
And Alonso,
yeah.
his move looks genius now going to Aston Martin. You know, him finishing top 4, top 3, pretty much every race.
Yeah.
And him actually watching and asking about Lance. Hey, what position is Lance in now? That was a great move by him. Him just watching the screen while he's driving. I felt like that was kind of cool. But I felt like overall it was an entertaining race though. Just to see the cars. McLaren has been extremely disappointing. With their performance, you know, all year. I feel like they can get donkey today every weekend, it seems.
Yeah,
especially all those sponsors and money they have around. It's mind-boggling. And they have a Mercedes engine, right? McLaren? Same engine?
They do have a Mercedes. Yeah, they have a Mercedes engine.
I just don't get it with them.
Yeah, please, can we circle back on McLaren, please? Because I was twitching when you were like, Darius just said, oh, when you're in the grid, you see a lot of drivers just walking fast, you know, Lando Norris. I thought, Lando Norris fast, haven't heard that in a while.
Oh, God.
I had to. You know I had to.
It's true.
You know I had to.
It's true.
So Lando Norris fast, never heard that in a while. So,
That's embarrassing.
Lando.
Did you just want to get that in there? Wow. There wasn't even any analysis on that. I just wanted to get that in there.
Beautiful gums.
Beautiful gums. Look, beautiful gums. McLaren was 17th and 19th, obviously, in Baku. They were 9th and 11th. So they've gone backwards. But obviously, Lando, it's not his fault that at the first corner, he had Nick de Vries absolutely punt him off the road on the first corner. I guess I've said everything I need to say about Nick de Vries, so I'm not going to say any more. But we thought who was going to replace Latifi as like the person that we were. Well, I wondered who.
Okay,
I wondered
cool.
who. He's not having. I just wondered who it would be. I didn't know it was going to be him. But I guess. Yeah, Nick de Vries seems to have had a bad weekend again. I guess if we were going to talk about donkeys, that would probably be my donkey of the day.
Okay.
But that kind of explains. And yeah, apparently Lando said about Nick crashing into him that he's done that a bit lately. So I think even once the drivers start getting at you as well, then you know it's not good for you. Finally, Darius, I know you're on a tight schedule. In your eyes, I guess how are you? Tandy's saying she's bored with the season. Obviously, you've been to the American Grand Prix, so I guess that's different. But there's been a lot of chat. There's been a lot of chat about the enjoyment of this season. I guess as someone who's I'm invested in a way that obviously I'm invested from a content point of view, but I'm also invested. I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan, and obviously seeing Lewis Hamilton not at the front is going to impact my enjoyment of it. So I'll admit my bias within that for sure. But how have you found this season as a whole? Are you enjoying this season? Are you, when you're watching races, are you still entertained by it? Are you still interested by it, or do you feel otherwise?
Yeah. I'm enjoying it, honestly, and I know I'm still new to it, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying, obviously, at least the beginning of the season. Obviously, the 1-2 battle is going to be Checo, is going to be Max, and much like you, Tandy, coming into this race, I'm like, hey, this is Checo's chance, man. This is his chance. But as far as right after Red Bull, you know, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Mercedes, it's like, now we can see those teams. I want to see that battle and see who's where every week. And, you know, the upgrades are supposed to be coming. So to see how the season finishes behind Red Bull, I'm still invested in that and entertained by that. So, yeah, I like it. And I'm always interested in, you know, how rookies perform. And I see how tough it is. You know, all these guys come in with, you know, great talk and hype around them. But then once they get on this F1 grid, you really see, you know, just like most sports, like it's just such a such a step up in competition and that, that battlefield. So I'm definitely invested for a few different reasons. Once again, still new from a content standpoint. Trying to convince other people and companies and businesses hey, it's hard. It's honestly harder when every week, who won this week? Max again, Red Bull. And so it's hard to kind of get people to come into it new. But from all those different standpoints, I'm fully invested in. I'm fully into it. And this is the NFL football all season. So once the NFL season stops, I try to go, at least going forward, I'm trying to go full F1, whatever podcast, whatever content I'm doing, whatever shows I'm going on, and they send me, hey, this is what we're going to talk about. Hey, can you throw an F1 question in there? I need to, talk about this or talk about that. So from those different standpoints, I'm still fully invested and entertained. So I'm still entertained because I do want to see, who comes out on top, even though, you kind of know going into these races this year. But I'm invested.
Darius said, put some respect on his name. Stop calling him a DTS fan. He said, I'm trying.
I don't mind it. I saw a stat that said at that Wall Street Journal thing, I believe it said either 1 in 4, and I'm not sure if it was worldwide or just here domestically, but 1 in 4 Formula One fans have become a fan of the sport in the last 4 years. So it'll be a DTS thing, and I think it'll continue growing. And they're trying to do it at other sports. You see, golf is trying to do it, tennis. So all these different, media is so powerful that it's going to play a different role. Now, kids, it's kids here that never would have thought about, I want to get in a kart, or I want to be a race car driver, I want to see this. And you see a guy like Lewis and everything that he's doing, in the community to kind of give back and give other people those different opportunities. So to see what they will continue to do, I think it'll keep growing. And then I heard them talking about how environmentally, friendly they want the sport to be as well, and the things that they're doing from that standpoint, which is always a talking point to get other people and other businesses invested in it. So I'm bullish. I'm bullish on the sport. Obviously here, I think it'll continue to grow and continue to dominate motorsports. We had a nice fight in NASCAR this past weekend, though. I
actually need to get into it. I need to get into NASCAR. I started getting into IndyCar a bit.
I feel like is NASCAR and is IndyCar like a bit more? I need a bit more violence. I need people coming out of the car and smacking each other.
Yeah.
And being like, don't talk to me. Like, I need that because this shit that I'm being fed at Formula One right now, this scripted ass shit.
That George Russell, Max little beef.
I want to punch someone.
NASCAR, that's a hook coming. You're getting the hook. You're getting yoked up
For
here.
real.
It's not just name calling and whatever. Whatever sugar. But that was funny. So I like a little violence off track too.
Let's go.
Look, I love that. Well, look, Darius, it's always a pleasure. It's just, unfortunately, we couldn't get you on for a bit longer because of our own technical issues. But even these 40 minutes have been absolutely wonderful. They've been a pleasure.
They've been the one.
Thank you for having me back, man. It's been awesome.
No, it's a pleasure. We're going to be in Austin and Vegas.
Vegas?
Vegas.
We're going to be in both, We're going to be in both. So
definitely got to connect there.
Yeah, so let's connect in real life. And
guys, are we going to the casinos? Put a little parlay down with Darius. Come on.
I gotta get into a live show. One of your live shows, I gotta get my way in there.
We're gonna try and do one in Austin.
We're gonna try and do one in Austin.
Okay.
We're gonna try and do one in Austin. So that's the plan.
Okay.
Once we get this next live show out of the way, we'll be planning the Austin one. So, it's exciting times to be an F1 fan and to be able to connect with someone like you and to see your journey within F1 and content and seeing the places you're trying to take it is incredible as well. So, thank you. Where can people find you on social media?
On Twitter and Instagram at Darius J Butler, DARIUS JBUTLER. On Twitter and Instagram, I'm tweeting. I'm IGing. I tweet a little more than I am on Instagram, but I keep it fun. I keep it light. And football, basketball, F1, and then here and there, some more serious things here and there.
Look, you've got a great Twitter account. I love what you're doing, and thank you for the support. And thank you for coming
Always.
on the show. Here's some cheering
Absolutely.
for you. 'cause you deserve it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. And hey, thank you too for Tandy for coming on the show too, for coming back.
Exactly. Look, I'll come back to the show. What am I? Thank you so much for having me, you guys. Like, great setup here at Quick Stop. Love everything you guys do. No, but you know what? I think Nyasha told everyone that I wasn't well, and I woke up on like Tuesday to like an array of messages from people from around the world telling me, "Oh, get well soon," and I was like, you know what? I appreciate that. I wasn't ill, guys. I actually had hay fever, and it was really bad. I'm allergic to everything on this planet, so.
Well, there you go. It wasn't even anything serious. So
I'm allergic to brokenness and bad beards, man.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Bad beards.
Right, we're gonna let you go, Darius. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
In a bit. Wow, there you go. That was a man like Darius Butler. Every time he comes on, I'm like, he has the most American sports voice ever.
Right.
And, do you know? And he has a broadcast voice. That's the word I was looking for.
Broadcast sport voice, which is like, how have you gone from playing to just broadcasting so well?
Yeah. Well, look, you can see he was born for it. He was absolutely born for it.
Yeah.
Those are the types of comments that I would like to receive about my voice. What I get is people saying that I sound like I smoke 40 packs of cigarettes a day.
And yet, our bookmarks are full of 3.3 bookmarks, 4 bookmarks. I see you guys. I bet like 10% of those bookmarks are people who were in the Miami GP. But I digress.
Were you jealous? Be honest. You know what? Because we were talking. Someone made a point on the last pod. Me and Mario were talking about access, and someone was like, "Well done, Mario, asking Nyasha if he was jealous." And I was like, "You can't keep talking about comparing yourself to others and whatnot." I think it's a fair point. No one wants to hear you cry like "woe is me" all the time.
Yeah,
it's not even about that. It's not about that at all. But I guess you know what it is.
I don't.
After no.
No, please. Oh, were you jealous?
I don't think jealous is the right word. I think envious. No, because envious is like envious is like you want what that person has, and I think I you know what? But we're off the back of our own work. We're going to Austin and Vegas, right? So you know. I would have loved to have been invited out there, but then also, like, why would an American company pay to fly us from London all the way to Miami? Like, who are we? We're not that guy. I think you know you have to want to. It makes me want to work even harder, and that's what makes me want to put pods out and make this content, and it makes me want to work harder. I'm happy for everyone out there. I don't like people shitting on people being invited to things. I think that's hate. Like, I'm a hater. Yeah. We hate on people all the time.
We hate. Me and Nyasha sit there. We cook a good meal, and then we sit there and we spew hate.
We hate.
We spew. We're big haters.
Haters. But I think what I did want to ask you, I think we didn't get, because we had to rush through with Darius. But do you think there's a level of misogyny, I guess, around the chat around influencers, like because they're women? And
yeah. Do you think? Of course there is. Of course there is. Of course there is. Plain and period. Nobody wants to see a pretty gal at their dream race that they've been wanking off since they were 6. That's just the truth. You guys used to get wet dreams off this shit, and now me with my good contour is being invited. I'd be mad too. Those wet dreams. You know what I mean?
Those wet dreams.
Do you know what I
mean? Them wet. You sentence. Those are dreams.
Do you know what I mean? Of course you'd be mad. I understand it, you know. You pay for Now TV. You sit there in your boxes every Sunday. And me, what do I know? Do you know what I mean? I took hair and beauty in year 9. Don't know much about the sport. Got on my laptop and got invited by Lipsy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd be mad too. For generations, men will be mad, but to that, stay mad. Stay mad.
Yes, stay
I
mad.
actually someone actually, I'm just gonna say this on the pod. I was actually gonna say it here. Somebody was in my DMs and they were like
always the start of a good story.
oh god, I can't even say this. Okay, somebody was in my DMs and they were like, how do I keep this PG? Oh, I'm gonna say, Tandy, how much, like, just let me, like, I really just want to have sex with you. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, the fuck? And they were like,
aggressive.
how much for me? There must be something I can do. This person's aggressively rich. When I say aggressively rich, that person is aggressively rich. And they were like, how much for me to have sex with you? Like, there's something you must want and I can give you what you want. And then they were like,
close?
Huh?
Are you close to, like, being like the Miami?
No.
Yeah.
And he was like, I know you want to go to one of them little races, and I know you want to go to one of them little races. I know you want to go to one of them little races.
That's disgusting.
That's
But
disgusting. That's no, I'm joking.
I'm just saying.
Joking. He was like, I know you want to go to one of them little races, and I was like, I've got race tickets. Race tickets. And he was like, no, I can get you all access. But that's just it. Just men constantly thinking like, oh, she must be doing this because she wants to get race tickets, or it just, yeah. Women will make it to races, guys.
Yeah. And I think that's like really like beyond the disgustingness of that DM. I think there's a big thing with like women always having to prove their worth within any kind of niche. It doesn't matter within anything, right? The whole mansplaining thing. But like, you know, you have women who are in any profession always kind of having to prove that they deserve to be there. That proof having to come from like infinite knowledge or whatever experience. And it's like,
bro, I didn't know what a purple sector was, but look at the people who sit on my podcast. Shut the fuck up, okay? Mind your business.
I don't know if that's the example I would have chosen, but yeah, like it's true. You have managed to wing it on it. Can't believe it. You have managed to wing it on an F1 podcast with, but I think it doesn't take away from your contribution towards motorsports. Yeah. So I think all your participation of it, and that's neither here nor there. But look, let's get back to the racing. Speaking of participation, I want to get your thoughts on Mercedes. Finished. Oh God. My battery finished in 4th and 6th. Lewis Hamilton out-qualified by George again. He finished 6th. He qualified 13th, finishes 6th. I think, you know, great comeback drive. But the car is not going well. There is thoughts of this Imola upgrade, which has been long touted. Toto's saying about the upgrade. I think what we're trying to do with the upgrade is to create a new baseline for us to take question marks, variables out of the equation and say this is not a problem now that we've gone to a different spec, which doesn't sound like an upgrade which is going to give you lap time.
No.
Immediate lap time anyway. So I guess firstly, your thoughts on Mercedes this season. What is it giving? How are you feeling about it? Because you're bored.
I'm bored. I guess
is part of that though, if you're being honest, because your team,
I'm losing.
For want of a better word, shit.
Losing. Like, I'm shit. Yeah. Respectfully. All the respect, but we're shit. Okay. It's giving bozo, it's giving bum, it's giving laziness, it's giving no room for mistakes, but mistakes are still being made. It's giving you knew this was always the outcome since we started the season. You always knew this car was shit. It's giving where the hell are we getting these props from, and what was all that carbon fiber chat for?
Yeah.
At one point, I saw a quote where Lewis was like, "I'm shaking, I don't know if the car is shaking." That's bare embarrassing. It's giving the ick.
Yeah, is Mercedes giving you ick right now? Is Mercedes, like, for want of a better word, is like, can I say that? Can I call the W14
say
like light skin? Like it's like a really It's like light skin. It's like Drake, right?
Yeah,
like Drake, you are, you know, a bit light skin, very attractive, but you're underneath all of that. It's giving corny. It's giving not much depth. I don't know what to say. I'm trying to make this as light-hearted as possible. Tandy, this is fucking bad. Like,
this is bad.
It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's been bad. We sacrificed the season in 2021 because he was like, we're building this fucking car. W13 was pants. They had an opportunity to listen to
and
Lewis.
Can you imagine? I brought Vincenzo onto this podcast. And I said,
You were laughing at him.
Bro, I take it all back. Vincenzo, my public apology. My public apology. Look, me and you, same a kid. We're sharing the same mattress, mate. They're outside having chowder and lamb. We're outside having scraps, bro. And I feel it now.
Do you know what it was like? How you're feeling? Do you know how you're feeling? When I was, I always tell the story because life will humble you. When I was, it's like 10, 12 years ago now. 2023, so this would have been 2011. Jesus Christ. Don't get into my age, because I'll cut your shit off. I'll cut your shit off, and I'll do this podcast. I was going to say I'll do it without you, but that's not much of a threat, is it? So,
great episode, guys, but where's Tandy?
One person. So, no.
Strongly missed.
But no, you were missed. But when I was unemployed and I was on the dole. The dole is welfare, I guess, for Americans. And,
welfare. Like he was on them food stamps, as in the couch was outside. There was roaches running around the crib.
I was the kid in the City High song, being looked after.
Yes, I'm hopeful. Yes, I am hopeful for today. Hey, yo.
Just be me at the end of like Coach Carter, like Nyasha made it off the dole and he's a podcaster now.
Tandy finally made it to the GP.
Oh man! So I was on welfare / the dole.
Yeah,
and you have to queue up. So there was a check that they gave you for like 65 pounds, which you could get every 2 weeks on top of your loan. I know your payments. And to get this though, you had to queue up in the post office, and they would give it to everyone at the same time. So you'd go at like 2:00 to the job centre. They'd give you the check, and then you'd go to the post office to cash it. And I remember being in this queue, like judging everyone. You know, there's people there that are like,
Benefit
down
Britain.
and out. Yeah, Benefit Britain, like down and out. Fucking. There was some people there who were obviously on drugs, and I was like, how can I judge? I'm in the same queue as these man, living the same life.
He
and that is
without sin cast the first stone.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't say anything. So like that's why when you were like getting a Vincenzo, I was like, brother, it's not great in this house. Like, not great in here. Like, I'm sorry. This team is bad. It's bad. It's bad. And look, Lewis did great.
Yeah.
Fighting up from P30.
No.
Let me ask you a
George
question.
did
Can I ask you a
great.
dangerous
George
question?
did
Can I ask you?
great. Go on.
Let me ask you a dangerous question.
Okay.
Can I ask you a dangerous question.
Okay.
Lewis Hamilton is losing 4-1 to George Russell in qualifying.
Uh-huh.
In the same way that we clowned Mercedes, not clowned George for going out qualifying in Q2 in Azerbaijan, Baku. Lewis went out of Q2 in Miami. He's blamed the team, and I do understand, like, he didn't have enough time to like sort his tires out, and I do get that. But is George really good, or is Lewis declining over one lap? Or is there nothing to read into this? And I'm asking this, let me just say this now, I'm asking this for content creation purposes. Everyone knows what I know in my heart, but for content creation purposes, Tandy, is George truly Mr. Saturday, and is Lewis's record holder of pole position in Formula One, is that hampering him at the moment?
Lewis is a great driver. George is a great driver. Both in equal machinery. I wouldn't say Lewis is declining. I feel like perhaps Lewis is only used to handling good cars. And so getting his brain and racking his marvelous brain around a really shit car, which has been described previously as a wheelbarrow, a Flintstone car, a tinny on wheels.
Hey, someone had the picture of, you know, them cars they make out of wire and
in Zoom.
yeah.
Them ones there. Please insert a picture for the Africans. I mean, for the non-Africans who don't know. One of them.
I'll find one.
One of them.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So maybe that's my rationing. Or, in the true words of SZA, I cannot see. I'm blind. Blind.
Nice.
I can't see, I'm blind. Thank you.
That was crazy. No, look, what I will say is this. Lewis had a great recovery drive from 13th to 6th.
100%.
Let's talk about that.
That's what was
Let's
also
wake that
pissing
up.
me off, because these men were talking about, like, we only have like 7 laps left, and then thanks for coming to the race. And then Lewis is in the back. He's actually mashing work in the back, and no one wants to pay attention. So that's just it, innit? And as I said, I don't like the tone some of these reporters come with when they talk about Lewis, you know. Bit too excited when he's on his downfall moments. I don't enjoy that. But I don't want to turn around and say Lewis is in his flop era. Flop where?
No, definitely no flop.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And I think for me, what I would say is, on your point of like Lewis isn't used to having bad cars, I'd say Lewis, I guess last year had to help develop the car, and that's why there was like the stats are skewed. And I guess this season they are on equal footing. It does feel like, I feel like on Saturdays he's not as in the zone as he is on Sundays with the car.
Yeah.
I think once he gets used to the car, he's
Sundays
able to,
he's on like
he's much
he's
better
on like
Sundays
beast
than he is on
mode, and it's always so
right.
sad to see like his interviews after the races, and he's just so drained, and he's just trying to keep really like positive. Sucks. But we go again.
No, it does suck. We go again.
We go again.
And that is it. We go again.
Yeah.
We go again. I mean, look, Christian Horner has said, I think it was quite an interesting quote. He said, I am looking for the quote from Mario, who's I'm wondering where others are at. Sorry, Mary, could you put that quote back in because I can't see it in there. But Christian Horner essentially, Red Bull are a league ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
And he's kind of he's taking a cheap shot at the rest of the grid and essentially saying, look, we've had a normal winter, we had a normal start to the season, but we don't know where the other teams are. We don't understand why the other teams aren't as close to us
I
as
can't
they
lie
are.
to you, Horner. That was a very strong statement, to be honest. Because where the fuck is
Here
you
he
at?
goes.
Do you know what I mean?
He
Period.
said,
Uh-huh.
He said, never had as dominant a start to the season as this. He's adamant that the progress they made over the winter break was in no means revolutionary. He labelled their start as normal and is left wondering where the others are. So to that, what do you say?
Apologies. I thought it was a Toto Wolff quote. You mean this is a Horner quote? All right.
This is a Horner
Rub
quote,
salt
yeah.
in my wound. Stomp on me when I'm down. Thank you, Christian. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's such a little instigator. Oh, he just always wants to just fucking just get him jamming. Get him jamming. Get him
You
jamming.
see that left hook? You see it? That's where I've been.
Yeah. So she's doing it.
seen it?
Bang. Oh my God. Oh, please, stop. Left hooking me, Christian. Sorry, for those on the audio, Tandy was punching the screen. So I think I would say that Christian, is an instigator, and he is, he knows what he's doing when he's saying stuff like this. Christian Horner is the guy that, when you're one of your friends who's got no self-awareness, so you'll go around their house after breaking up with your partner, and then you'll be like, oh, I'm just with my partner, and then they'll be like, oh no, that's a shame, man, I love my girl so much, I've just got the best girlfriend in the world.
Do we know someone like that? Do we know someone like that?
Do I? You know what? Thankfully not. I don't know anyone.
Thank God, yeah. No, I don't know anybody like that.
None of my friends are like that. That was a
that was I was gonna know, yeah, we don't have friends like that. But yeah, honestly, no self-awareness. It's almost like, when you've just been told off and then your sibling comes in and is like, you're right, but they're laughing at you.
Yeah.
They're laughing.
Laughing. You just,
What
just
a
had a little
prick.
belt. Just had a little
Yeah,
belt and
man.
they're like, oh, you're right.
Get hit, did you? We out here eating food.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. We're not in our flop era. Imola always is in an imminent time.
Imola is imminent. And we'll see. I think I'll ask you a question. Do you think Mercedes will be able to look? This upgrade has gone from being 3/10 to being a second to being, to being something that's going to allow them to have a base level to work on with the car, so that they know what's wrong. Which kind of shows how drastically wrong they've got it. If in May 2023, after the season, after last season's car and then this season's car.
Yeah.
If they still don't know what's wrong with the car, then it does raise alarm bells. But I guess do you see a situation where Mercedes, I guess before the next regulation changes in 2025, 26, do you see them being able to come back and offer, I guess, Lewis the opportunity to have the car that he deserves?
I'm not. No, because you just keep talking about the car that he deserves. We're never getting the car Lewis deserves. Not this season. Maybe not even next season. I just want.
Let me ask you a real question then. Okay, you're saying it. Let me ask you a real question. Does Lewis ever win another 8th if he stays in Mercedes?
Ooh, I've never thought about that, because I love this sport. I love the game.
I love this game.
Oi, that is crazy. What team would you see Lewis going to where he might win without it being Mercedes?
You know what? I think he's fucked. you want me to be honest, I think he's fucked. I don't think he can go to Red Bull, which is
He
the only
can't.
thing that's going to win the
He can't
title.
go to
I think if he goes to
Aston
Ferrari,
Martin.
he
Can't
can't
go
go to Aston
Ferrari.
Martin. Can't go to Ferrari. He has. He has to. He said he wants to stay at. The thing with my issue with Mercedes, let me tell you this, is that Lewis is pledging his future to you. We all know Lewis wants to stay at Mercedes. That's not the issue. The problem is, I don't trust these man to build another good car.
Yeah.
I've eradicated all trust. Honestly, as a fan, I have now absolutely forgotten about ever thinking that Mercedes will compete for a title this season. I don't even think it's going to happen next season. I think what might happen. I think what might happen if there's what happened in 2021 with Red Bull, in that they got closer and closer to Mercedes, and then maybe there was like a technical directive which meant that in 2021 they were like able to go quicker. That might happen in 2024, 2025. But this season and next season, I don't think we're going to win a title. So I think we're going to have to get used to seeing Lewis at the back. But Lewis is now just using F1 as he's in his billionaire bag now. He's building out the brand, the personal brand, and I don't think, as much as he does want to.
I think
titles,
now it is literally just Team Lewis Hamilton, Team Verstappen. But I did say this at the start of the year that this season isn't even about the teams anymore. It's about individual drivers and how you feel about them, whether they're winning or not.
I don't understand why people. Formula One's weird in that people hate us for liking Hamilton and bashing Verstappen.
Fam, I broke a whole friendship off because of that.
I don't know. I mean, look, oh shit, is that broken now?
Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Guy's a weirdo. So, like, I meant what I said. So okay. I look, but I find it weird that F1 fandom. I think F1 is the weirdest sport fandom wise.
Oh yeah, Team LH are strange people, bro.
Yeah, they are strange. We are a cult, and I put myself in that. But also, it's hilarious that the Verstappen lot don't see themselves as a cult. Like, you can't say anything bad about Verstappen, and you'll have like hordes of people on your shit.
You couldn't say nothing about Vettel. You remember the Vettel fans? They were scary. Vettel fans have actually migrated to become Lando Norris fans, and I think they did it too early. Kudos to you, sending love. Godspeed. Godspeed.
Godspeed. Yeah, good luck with that. I think I just find it weird. Like, I just find why I think people are really sensitive, but it is like unless, like Vincenzo said, unless you're a Ferrari fan.
Yeah.
And I know, like, you know, people like Mahad and Peter on McLaren Fan TV, like, they're McLaren fans. And there are people like that who support the heritage teams, especially, like Mercedes.
I think Mercedes is even a heritage team. Yeah.
Yeah. Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren. I'd say those four teams. Williams as well have like diehard Williams.
Yeah, because people like the Honda engines.
That's got nothing to do with Williams.
Okay.
but
gosh, it's warm in here.
You know, you're like that Donald Trump. The lights are too bright. Turn off the lights. But they like Williams because the Williams are, you know, they used to be good in like the 80s and in the 90s, and in the 90s they were like a big team in the 90s. Obviously they won a lot of titles, so, and they're British, so, you know, and Frank Williams and everything. But I just think like people need to be. F1 is going to, the way F1 is marketing the drivers is going to a stage where everyone is going to support individual drivers, and everyone's going to have maybe multiple drivers that they support, and that's fine. And banter between people is fine. Like, this whole thing that you can't criticize an F1 driver is crazy.
Honestly,
And also,
yeah.
if a platform criticizes an F1 driver, just stay off that fucking platform.
Yeah, just stay off it. I mean, on a sociological perspective, you know,
Ooh.
sport.
You pour myself a drink for this. Can't you?
On a sociological perspective, sports are the perfect examples of where cults are made, are created. You find a charismatic leader.
I got that from you.
You've had a charismatic leader, Lewis Hamilton, Quick Stop F1, the other podcast, and you stick to them. Do you know what I mean? Whether they are taking content directly from, you know, their bookmark of saved tweets, or they've made it to Miami GP. We all follow a charismatic leader. I digress. This is just what it is. When you follow a certain being, you turn into a certain following, you turn into a family, turns from cult to then a religion. We haven't taken it as far as religion, guys. Relax, okay? Anybody's out here kissing Nyasha's feet, okay? It's not that deep yet, okay? Yet.
I don't know what to say to that. Thank you. Quickly, Charles Leclerc. I know, actually. Give me your start of the day.
Ooh, Fernando Alonso.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, that's
I am
different.
free Fernando Alonso merch and sponsorship to get me to the next races. I'd love to come see his paddock. Nah, I just think Fernando Alonso. No, I'm joking. I just think Fernando Alonso, you know, just loving it, divorced his missus. Now it's all full Tom Brady mode. And he's just where he's at. He's happy at third, isn't he? He's happy.
He is.
In Fernando Alonso's head, he is the second fastest driver on that grid. And he's...
let me ask you a question, actually, because I put something on the Twitter about Charles Leclerc. I don't think Charles Leclerc can be considered the top 3 drivers on the grid right now.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. No, good point, because I think he was at one point.
Yeah.
And I think someone else said if it isn't in whatever order, Hamilton, Alonso, Verstappen, then you're not watching this sport. Do you agree with that? Would you put Alonso in your top 3?
In the fastest drivers on the grid currently?
I'd say the best drivers
or the
on
best
the grid.
drivers.
Yeah, the top 3 drivers. If you're going to rank from top to bottom, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
In whatever order.
I'd say in whatever order, Hamilton, the Dutch guy, and the Spaniard.
Yeah, he is having a lot of fun. I think someone someone put him as their star of the day in our comments. Joe Kingham Joe Kingham said star of the day, K-Mag or Alonso. We'll get to K-Mag in a second because I found it hilarious how he was bullying Charles Leclerc. Stefan Lloyd Bowen, Stefan Bow also said that he had Max, K-Mag and Alonso in his star of the day.
To be fair, I was gonna give a little shout out to K-Mag. We saw that little maneuver.
I was gonna say your guy who you, even when he got pole position, you refused to give him any form of.
I feel like K-Mag's style of racing is stay in the DRS and buzz around like a fly, like a bee, like constantly up, down, excellent, bad, good, beat. Like, you know what? And I'm noisy. You're like, where's this fly? Oh, I got it. I think I killed it.
Yeah.
No. Oh, there he is. Oh, and then the worst bit is when he buzzes past your ear. Anyway, that is K-Mag to me.
Anyway. No, fair play. Look, I think Charles Leclerc felt the full effects of that. They had some great battles on track.
Yeah.
And I think we'll see. I think it was good for him as well to get. We'll get for him to get a good result against Hulkenberg, who seems to be doing better than him this season. So I think that was a good result for K-Mag. My star of the day. I was going to be Lewis, to be fair, just from 13th to 6th on no safety car. You know, he had to make
No
that strategy
Vaseline.
work.
Come.
And yeah, there was no.
No.
Yeah.
No fucking Vaseline.
No, so he what's wrong with you? So he did it all on his own without any kind of any help from outside sources, and I think that was good. I would say also star of the day, looking at the orders. I mean, look, Max did well, whether I want to say it or not. Max did well, and I think that it was a champion's drive this weekend, but also Checo was on a worse strategy, having to start. If Checo couldn't start on hard tyres, because if he did and then he lost places at the start, people would have said that they're sabotaging him. So I think back to your point of Max knowing that he was going to win, he knew that he was going to go very long on hard tyres and then be on soft tyres and be able to catch Checo. So I think Checo in that perspective was always going to be fucked. If he was the tyre whisperer we all thought he was, then, you know, you still started in first and your teammate was in ninth. So
thing is, he's too concerned with the tyres. He's too concerned with the tyres while people are making real strategies. That's the problem.
Yeah. I think someone said that something about here we go. I'm going to go with Mo at Mo Pink asks, is Perez going to make this season bearable or is it over? Do you think that Perez has got what it takes to take the fight to Max Verstappen?
I feel bad in saying that the last race before Imola is always quite telling of where the season's going, and that's why there was a whole narrative that Checo Perez has it either to win or make or break this race, like this weekend. I'd hope that maybe after the small break that he does just come back and grasps it by the balls and stops concerning himself with the strategy, but also questions Christian as soon as he gets in that car and says, is it the same plan that we discussed 2 seconds ago? Because I know you'll switch it up for Max. But also kind of stop taking it as team. I don't want to see him play teamwork in this. I think this is definitely one for all. I just wish sometimes he just have that one bit of drive. If you are all equally in equal machinery, as they have said, Checo, just put the pedal to the metal, brother. It's what you deserve.
Sorry, pedal to the what?
To the metal.
It's to the metal.
To the metal. Stop that. Stop that. I know what you're doing. Stop that. Right?
Oh, no.
He did this to me. He's got to do it.
I don't think anything.
He got at me about the Irish courage thing.
That was off camera. That wasn't even. No one knows about that. And I have to explain it now. I have to explain it after you.
So let me explain it. So guys, is the saying Irish courage or Dutch courage? Because I think Dutch courage refers to one thing and Irish courage refers to another. So Nyasha said it's not Irish courage, you bozo. But I think there is a point where you do say Irish courage, but I will. Yeah, anyway. As you were.
And we're referring to the idea, and I feel like this is a bit of an English phrase. I don't know if they have it in America, but it's an English phrase which refers to the fact that when you drink, you get more confident, essentially.
Yeah. So when you have Irish courage, it's when you drink. When you have Irish courage, you drink whiskey. When you have Dutch courage, maybe it's beer.
That's not what you're implying, but that's fine. Liquid courage is America. There you go.
There you go.
But it's Dutch courage.
But
we've just got the confirmation from the production team.
Anyway.
Look, I can't remember what we're talking about now. What are we talking about? Checo. Yeah. Yeah, essentially, Dutch courage. Taken from the better known Dutch courage comes from a British.
All right, bye. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Back to the
Checo,
Formula 1 podcast.
So Checo, I don't think this was the race. Every time he wins, Max has been impeded in some way. I
Yeah.
don't think he's beaten Max on, like, if they've been first and second on the grid. I'm trying to think, maybe did that happen in Baku? Maybe. But I don't. It feels like, oh yeah, and Max was impeded by the safety car in Baku, and but he had the pace, but we never truly knew. This was an out and out race. He was on the worst strategy between the two drivers, and there's some theories about whether he was given enough information on the radio. I've seen other information to refute that, to be fair, so I'm not gonna like go into that. He had an opportunity today to lay down a marker, and you were in clean air for fuck knows how many laps. You should have had enough pace to see off someone coming through from ninth, and I think it shows the pace deficit between the two, that he wasn't able to win today's race. He wasn't able to make that strategy work, even though his teammate started the ninth. And yes, he passed people quite easily, but your teammate should not have been able to catch you from ninth place with no safety car. That's crazy. I'm sorry. That is poor. I almost want to put him in my donkey of the day for that, but I won't. Donkey of the day. Okay, sorry, 2 seconds. I will answer this. Mario, how does one strategy take you from ninth to first, but the other strategy doesn't take you from first to first? So what I will say is, starting on hot. Sorry,
could you read that question? Yeah.
How does one strategy take you from ninth to first, but another strategy doesn't take you from first to first? So I guess what I will say is this. Sergio Perez had to start on medium tyres, because if he'd started on hard tyres, he might have been jumped by Alonso and Sainz at the start, and then he might have found it harder to get past, and then it would have fucked up his race, and then Max would have been able to catch him anyway, right? He had to start on medium tyres to make sure that he got the best possible start and he could control the pace. The problem was the medium tyres were rubbish, and he couldn't push on them for a long period of time. So by the time that he came in, I think by the time he came in, Max and him were actually like quite close. Also, whatever. By the time Max came in for his pit stop, they were only like a second apart, because Max was able to push for ages on his hard tyres for 45 laps for ages, and that means that the issue here is the tyre compounds from Pirelli. And Tandy, you've done tyre chat, so you know where I'm coming from. The tyre chat, the hard compound tyre was way too easy for Verstappen to push for ages and ages and ages and ages, and that's why he was able to essentially go full pace for 45 laps and have better pace than Perez, who was having to manage his tyres on the mediums for like 20 something laps, and that's why Verstappen was able to pass him. Checo was on a hiding to nothing, I will say that, so which is why I haven't given him donkey of the day, but it doesn't look great nevertheless. My star of the day, Lewis Hamilton, great shot of all time, doing the best in an absolute shit box. I don't care. Yes, we're biased. I don't care. I'm tired of caring. Honestly, I'm tired of caring. 13th to 6th. He gave us most of the overtakes last race. He's given us even more overtakes this race. He's doing it in a fucking shitbox of a car. I love Lewis Hamilton.
Okay, stop shouting.
Never. Someone said that on the TikTok, and I said the same thing to them. Never.
Powered.
No. Wrong one. I like that.
Okay.
I need to get one of those. Donkey of the day.
Nick de Vries.
Fucking.
Nick de Vries.
I don't know what more.
Just finding his bearings, isn't he?
He's just finding his bearings.
He needs to hurry the fuck up, though.
I feel like he's getting. I feel like when we criticize Nick de Vries, everyone's like, "Well, he's just starting. He's a rookie." Like, no one was saying this about Mazepin.
No one was saying this about Yuki.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, people need to like. I'm sorry. The standard of driving is bad.
Yeah.
Let's not fuck around.
Also, what was with all the Alfa Romeos in the pits during
Alfa Romeo? Sorry, I'm just gonna, because I keep forgetting to correct you on that for like 3 years.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, you see that? You see the prick I work with. You see the prick. This
No, but you know what it is, yeah?
Not me.
I like that. I like it because I think that we all learn stuff, and no one.
Yeah.
It's not about fucking knowing everything. I think that's what people assume about F1 is that you have to know everything. It's like it doesn't take away from your thoughts that you pronounce. It's the right word, just the wrong pronunciation.
Yeah, don't use me for your example, please.
Yeah. Someone's just going to take this fucking podcast and be like, women in F1!
Don't use me for your example, you prick. Now, fuck this guy, you guys. Fuck him. Anyway.
What do you mean?
Let me...
I love him,
yeah, so what was with all the ARs? What was with all the ARs? In the pits this weekend, everyone just kept complaining like, oh, I've just nearly bumped into an AR. Oh my God, there's an AR just coming out of nowhere. Do they have any, do they have manners? I feel like we need to talk about pit etiquette. And I don't think they have it.
Pit etiquette, no, they are, Alfa Romeo, yeah. It's a weird one. They're the ones. It's funny hearing Darius saying he was with Alfa Romeo because that's where a lot of the influencers were as well. So I think they must have. Not that Darius. Yeah, that's where.
You just called Darius an influencer.
No, I'm saying not that Darius is an influencer at all. No, but the thing is, like, I think once you get into that realm of his job isn't an influencer, but he is a personality, I guess. And I think they had a lot of personalities in the garage. Let's say that. But no, a lot of the beauty guys were in Alfa Romeo. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. So there's loads of pictures of them in the garage, and there's one person that we follow. Oh, I can't remember her name now. She's like a beauty, a fashion journalist, and she was in the Alfa Romeo garage as well. So, yeah, it's just it's okay, man. But yeah, no, Alfa Romeo not great. Look, Bottas finishing in 13th, I want to say, and Zhou in 16th. That car doesn't look great, and I think they're quite comfortably in the slowest three cars on the grid, which could include McLaren, to be fair. My donkey. Sorry, was your donkey of the day Alfa Romeo?
Yeah, and Nick de Vries.
And Nick de Vries, sorry, yeah. I think it's hard to argue against that. Let's see some of the.
Throw signs in there as well.
Was I talking about signs last week? I think I was. Yeah, I was like, oh, I really wish you were there for Baku, because Science had like an absolutely hot. Did you listen to that pod? You did, didn't you?
Yeah, of course I do. I listened to all the pods.
So I was like. But no, yeah, he had an all-time bad race last week, and this week. I mean, like, he did what he had to do. He was getting bullied up and down that grid by fucking George Russell this weekend. Mercedes are faster than Ferrari in race pace. It's just qualifying. We don't seem to be able to have it, but they've always been quite quick in one lap. Even as quick as Red Bull in some instances. So I don't think that's any mean feat. But their drop off between race pace and qualifying is big, and I think Carlos Sainz struggles with that because he's not a great qualifier, and then in the race he's not great in the race either. So it's. Not great. Average. My donkey of the day is Logan Sargent had a very bad weekend. But I don't really expect that much from him. So my donkey, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna go with. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna go with the driver introduction thing. The NL Cool J segment. I'm not gonna lie.
Were you cringing?
Before they had Michael Buffer doing it, yeah? That was boxing. Fucking, it was epic.
No, but
I
in
love
their
LL
eyes,
Cool J. What does he
what
know
the fuck
about
does he know
boxing?
about cars? I love the LL Cool J song. What the fuck does he know about cars?
I saw LL Cool
I
J
just
there.
feel like they roll out their annual big black man every year to do something on the grid. It was Shaq last time, LL Cool J. I think next year it's gonna be Shiggy or freaking Drewski. That's who they're gonna roll out. They do it all the time.
Yeah. Shaggy would be would be incredible. I said I was married. You said that. I'm not just thinking of Shaggy. Although Tandy, you are my angel, my darling angel. So I think, I think someone else said it. I think Stephanie fast pit stop. It's quite close to our name. I've never noticed that actually.
Stephanie, can I look at your bookmarks, please?
But yeah, no. She also had the driver introduction as her donkey of the day, and I think it was a good idea. I think there's what's the name? I think Kiki Palmer and the stylist who's with Lewis with the long hair.
Oh my.
Law,
yes,
and then they're having an argument, and she's like, right example, wrong scenario, and that is what that felt like, as in that was the right idea, wrong execution. I think they introduced Esteban Ocon as Gasly's childhood friend, and it's like, brother, respect my man. like, do you know what I mean? Like
yeah. I love how you're spewing this, because you got shy when Darius was there, innit? You got shy, but you wanted to go in on these people.
You know what? Because we can go in on it. I don't want to fuck up his bag. Like, do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. That's nice. You know, you see,
respectfully,
this podcast, we're a family, you know?
Like, do you know what I mean?
We spread love. Yeah.
We spread love. But,
fuck up our bag instead.
Fuck up. Boy. So, have you heard the will.i.am Lil Wayne
So
F1
actual thing that came to my DMs 2 weeks before its release. Because I'm a music journalist, and I was actually trying to set us up a little something. Flopped because will.i.am's doing Tour de Formula One. So, but yeah, that song is a 2-pack of ass. They could have kept that shit. And anybody want to listen to hear that bullshit, man? It's like you got like a Lil Wayne verse, and you're hearing "Meow." will.i.am, you will be tried for your crimes. I'm so sorry. What the fuck, fam?
I only saw it today because I missed quite a long part of the build up, and apparently he didn't all
bring the action. Meow.
It's so bad.
It's so fucking
and
bad.
That's another thing, though. You were saying that F1 was just gonna bring like a fucking. Come and shuck and jive for us. Come and fucking
shuck and jive. Oh, shuck and jive.
What the hell is that? Why would that make me want to watch F1? That just makes me feel like, oh my god, it's just so corny. Everything's corny. Vegas, corny. Miami, corny. Cool J, corny. Everything, corn.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of this shit, bro. This sport, please.
Plain, another club, corny, another club.
Sick and tired of this sport. Okay. I think that's it.
Let's round it off. Woosa. What's going on this weekend, Yash?
Man. Fuck me. We're doing our third live show.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. We're doing our third live show. It's at Broadgate Everyman Cinema.
Liverpool
We're going to be
Street.
showing in Liverpool Street / Moorgate.
Moorgate.
We're going to be screening. Sorry. It's our live show. We're going to be screaming Brazil 21 on a fucking big ass screen. We're going to be free popcorn on entry, free drink, pit stop, quick stop family there. Pick up pit stop tracker. Definitely not pick up the other pit stop guys. Those guys are losers. Yeah, that's this Sunday, and starts at 1 o'clock. Come down. There's still some tickets left, but I'm just really excited to see everyone. I feel like it's just going to be incredible to.
The link is in the bio.
The link's in the bio, as always.
Yeah.
But I think it's just going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun to see everyone, and yeah, you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am, guys. Make sure you last minute tickets are available. It is this Saturday, so starting from Sunday, sorry. This Sunday, and tickets are available in the bio. There's still some limited but available seats. It will be worth it. We will have fun. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Tell a friend, and also, like, you know what, like, this is like, we've partnered with a cinema group. This is like the most luxurious cinema that you could ever go to. You're literally going to be sat on a sofa. Essentially, all the seats are sofas. They're going to bring you your popcorn to your table. They're going to bring you your drink to your table.
Food.
You can order food as well. We're going to be watching Brazil. Like, all our other live shows have been us watching a fucking live race. Honest to God, thank fuck this is not a live race, and we know the excitement it's going to bring. And I think for us to be able to have all of those feelings of watching Brazil 21 again as a family is going to be incredible, and I'm really fucking excited by the prospect of seeing all of you there, and just for us to be able to enjoy each other's company. And I think that's a really cool thing. And no matter who you support, guys, look, we have a rep. I get the rep. We haven't done much to dilute it, but we've had, like I said, we've had Red Bull fans come, McLaren fans come, Ferrari fans come. This is a unique event in F1. No one's doing this. No one's setting up live events where you get to watch races with other F1 fans and enjoy each other's company and meet people who have like-minded interests, just like yourself. This is a very cool, I won't say cool, but it's just like a really, I think, landmark event in F1 history in terms of content creators and independent events. And I think that you don't want to be that person who's like doubting it, and then you're looking at it from your phone like, oh,
like fuck. Raw, like, yo, Tandy looked great.
I'll be honest.
I'm be
honest, I don't plan on being in this country next year. So your opportunity to do this,
actually, this is true.
It's like there's not many more opportunities for us to do this. I'm not going to lie to you. So not that I'm guilt tripping you guys into coming or anything, but I think that this is going to be an incredible event, and I can't wait. My favorite part of it is meeting all of you guys and spending time with you, and I really hope to see you all there.
Yeah.
Tandy.
Sounds good. I'm around this podcast up, which has been extra lengthy. It's always good to be back on home space. I've loved every guest that's taken my place. Shout out Tommy. Shout out Tommy's new baby. Shout out everyone. Why did you do that? That's not nice. I'm sorry, why did you do that? That's just not on.
I'm in that mood.
He's being a prick, you guys.
I fucked up. That was too far.
That was mean. But shout
out. What do you think
again.
of Mario? What do you think of Mario's performances?
Do you know what? Mario always holds it down. Mario's a mini me for real. Like, honestly, every time Mario jumps on this pod, I'm like, who else but Mario? Do you know what I mean? Who else?
There you go.
Do you know? We love you, Mario.
And the reason I did an extra long podcast is because I'll be honest, I missed you.
Exactly. Like honestly, also
I missed doing this with you.
shout out all the women that were on. Shout out all the women. We had Tasha.
We got Tasha.
We had
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Elizabeth was cool. I really liked that episode. Tasha has the best knowledge. Do you know what I mean?
Tasha's great.
So yeah.
Tasha's great. Our quick stop Nepo baby.
He's our quick stop Nepo baby.
Tasha, well, because obviously Tasha and Chris, and obviously.
Oh yeah, you're a Nepo. Yeah, she's for real, Tasha. Yeah, Tasha. Yeah,
Good.
that's hilarious. Nepo baby. Daddy's company. I see you. I love that.
But no. No, but guys, no, it's been really good to have you back on, Tandy. I've really enjoyed having you back on, and I hope.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I miss you so much, man. And in case anyone was ever wondering, you know what I mean? Like, it was just the way the calendar went, and it just looked like you weren't ever.
Yeah. People were like, I think, like, have you left Quick Start, boy?
Something.
No,
come on.
We don't leave.
That's never gonna happen. And have to.
He said that's never gonna happen. He said they welcome to death row, bitch. Anyway.
Even if she wanted to, she couldn't. So
Nyasha said he was gonna get a matching tattoo with me. He still hasn't got it, but oh well. We were very drunk when we decided to do this.
We're doing it in Austin.
Oh my god.
And Elizabeth said there's a tattoo place in Austin. So that's
Is it? Yeah, come. Yeah. Me, you, Elizabeth. And
there you go.
And Darius.
If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Make sure you give this video.
God.
Make sure you give this video a like and subscribe. If you're watching, if you're listening on Spotify, give us a 5-star review. If you're on Apple, make sure to give us a review on there. Yeah. We're on 450. I want to get to 500 Spotify reviews. Yeah. Guys, if you listen to us on Spotify, let's get it to 500. Please, just if you've listened to us on Spotify, just go above it. You'll see there, little star, 5 stars. Really good. Thank you so much. Little 5-star. And obviously, if you want a fucking ad-free stream, then the link to the Patreon is below. Thank you to all the patrons, by the way. We appreciate you. Thank you to everyone who comments on our YouTube comments. Thank you to everyone who shared our content ever. Shout out to haters. Shout out to Tandy. It's so lovely having you back on the pod. Feels like home again.
Yay.
And thank you to everyone who listens to this. This has been a lovely episode of the Quick Stop F1 podcast. But always,
I know that's right. Keep it on the black stuff. Sorry, was that premature? That was premature.
A bit premature, yeah, a bit premature.
It's premature. Okay. It's all right.
No matter what life throws at you,
keep it on the black stuff.
There you go.
Yay! Yay!
Look, mate, if you've got this far, clearly you like what we do. So here's a link to subscribe to the Quick Stop F1 family. Give that a click. And here's another link to some more cool on our channel. Sorry, cool stuff. And remember, no matter what happens, keep it on the black stuff. Click the stuff. Click the links. Click the links. Click the links. There. They're there.